Good evening, my friends, and welcome to a brand new episode of Terror Radio Podcast. If this is your first time joining me, then welcome. This is a podcast dedicated to bringing you the best of horror and thriller, old time radio broadcasts, as well as original stories. I am your host, Keith, aka the radio show nerd, and I'm hoping all of you had a very safe but fun Halloween. Tonight's episode is entitled The Jilted Lover. So, without further ado, this is Terror Radio. The two radio series highlighted tonight are Dark Fantasy and Macabre. Our first radio play is called The Man Who Came Back, and it was first broadcasted on Dark Fantasy November 14th, 1941. Following that is the radio play The House in the Garden, which was first broadcasted on Macabre December 4th, 1961. Now, you all know the drill. Sit back, turn down the lights, and listen to The Man Who Came Back, followed by The House in the Garden.
Dark fantasy. I am the man who came back.
Break it up, break it up.
This way, officer. He's in here.
All right, miss. Casey.
Yes, Captain.
Now, you stay right there in that doorway and don't let nobody in or out.
Right, Captain. All right now. All right, you heard him.
Oh, but we had nothing to do with this.
Okay, sister. If you didn't, you ain't got nothing to be scared of. Hey, you. Where do you think you're going?
I thought I might get a little air, if you don't mind.
Well, I do mind. Now, back in the house with you. What's the big idea of you wearing that mask?
As you might have observed, my friend, this is a masquerade party.
Oh, is it now? Well, according to Emily Post, it's masks off at midnight. And we got this call to come out here just as the clock in Washington Circle was striking the hour.
The call was placed by a most hysterical woman. And there is nothing you can do for the man in there, I assure you.
Stop changing the subject. What I want to know is, why ain't you unmasked like the others?
I prefer, sir, to wear my mask.
Take it off, Don Juan. I want to look at your mug.
It might be better, my friend, if you didn't see my mug.
Now, look here, Zorro.
Perhaps while we are waiting, I might tell you a story.
Yeah? What is this? Bedtime at Grandma's? The only story I'm interested in is what happened here tonight.
Exactly.
Eh?
I said exactly. Perhaps I can tell you the story.
All right, then, my fine, mysterious friend. Give.
Well, you see, it's quite a long story. It really all began yes, at least 3 years ago. I remember that evening quite well. I let myself into Granger's apartment. It was a golden key I used. A bright golden key. And there was no one there when I arrived. So I closed the door and waited. Well, Grange, imagine seeing me here.
Huh? Blake. Oh, I say, you startled me.
Did I now? I dare say, had I been someone else, you wouldn't have been at all startled.
Incidentally, old man, how did you get in here?
I suppose it would be quite facetious of me to say that I came in the same way you did. Oh, I say, a new piano. Do you mind?
No, not at all. Go right ahead. Help yourself. Have a drink?
No, thanks. You better have one, though.
Oh, yes. I say, Blake, what's that you're playing?
You've heard it before, Grange.
Have I? I don't recall.
You have a short memory.
I usually remember pretty well.
When you choose to, you do, yes.
What do you mean by that?
My wife has played that tune for you every night this week, and last, and the week before that. You see, I happen to know.
Oh. I see.
Well, I'm glad you haven't the audacity to deny it.
No. Oh, I don't deny it. Your wife has been here. Often. As often as she possibly could. But I assure you she came of her own desire.
And as a result of your oily persuasion.
I might agree, Blake, that she is easily persuaded. And, of course, my curiosity prompts me to ask how you finally learned the truth.
I accidentally found the key to your apartment here. It was in Sylvia's purse. A golden key. With your initials engraved on one side, hers on the other.
Why, I thought that a rather handsome touch. Don't you agree?
I've brought the key back to you.
How gallant of you, old fellow.
I'm serious. Sylvia will never come here again.
Are you positive of that?
Quite. For I shall ask her not to.
You seem to believe she'll obey you.
She will. And I ask you now, Grange, as a gentleman, kindly refrain from inviting her here again.
In other words, hands off. Is that it?
I'm glad I make myself quite plain.
Why, you fool. You dull, stupid fool. What right have you to demand anything of Sylvia? Do you think for a moment, night after night, twiddling her thumbs while you're away from home?
I admit I've been busy this past year, but another 6 months...
You've no one to blame for Sylvia's being here but yourself. Here she's found what you denied her, Blake. And I doubt very much if she'll give it up.
Why, you swine, if you think for a moment... Oh. Well, I forgot you carried a gun. But if you'd care to put it away...
Skip the heroics, Blake. You know, I think I've suddenly thought of a solution to all this.
The only solution is for you to leave Sylvia alone.
Oh, no. No, you're quite mistaken. This is the solution. Here in my hand. Indeed, I rather like the idea. Besides, with you out of the way, Sylvia need have no more qualms.
Why, you low yellow rat.
That's it, Blake. Come closer. Threaten me. Make me do it. Make me do it, Blake.
If you think killing me is the way out, Grange, you're very badly mistaken.
It's the only way out.
If you kill me, Grange, I'll come back and avenge myself.
One shot, and that'd be all. I can prove self-defense. Sylvia will help. She'll swear you came here and tried to kill me.
I'll come back, Grange.
Just one shot directly between the eyes.
I'll haunt you, Grange, because by God in heaven, I'll come back.
It's a perfect scheme, yes. I like it.
I'll pierce the veil, Grange, because I'll come back if I have to fight all the demons of hell to do it.
Oh, prepare, Blake. This is a chance of a lifetime. It's the way out. Yes, it's the way out. Great.
Get your extra paper. Wealthy playwright slain in millionaire's apartment. Read all about it. Here you are, Mr. Keith Grange playing self-defense and slaying a fellow Blake. Here it is, folks. Get your extra paper. Read the headline news about the killing. It's all here in your extra paper.
It is the judgment of this court that the defendant, Keith Grange, did shoot and kill the deceased, Philip Blake, on the night of April 16th, and that in so doing, he acted in a line of self-defense. The court therefore decrees that Keith Grange shall not be held to account for this unfortunate incident.
Well, my dear?
I suppose there's nothing to worry about now.
Not the slightest thing. I told you from the very beginning, Sylvia, that I acted rightly in doing what I did.
Oh, I still can't resign myself to it.
But you must. It's all over. Philip is dead. Now we can be together as much as we please.
Keith, suppose you and I should have a misunderstanding. Suppose I should become angry sometime. So angry I might tell the truth to the authorities.
That, my dear, would be most unfortunate. But it's a possibility, and by no means should we overlook possibilities. So allow me to remind you, Sylvia, my dear girl, that your hiding the true facts of the matter of the coroner's investigation automatically makes you an accomplice.
Oh, I see. But why are we talking like this, darling? We'll both feel better after we've had a little rest.
Oh, of course we will, dear.
Kiss me goodnight, darling. I'm going home.
I'll take you.
Oh, no. No, I'd rather go alone tonight if you don't mind.
As you wish, my dear. Good night.
Good night, darling.
Sweet.
Will you call me in the morning?
Yes, of course I will.
Good night, then.
Good night, darling. Pleasant dreams. That's strange. Very strange. Just a moment ago, there were only Sylvia and I here. Now she's gone. Yet I feel that I'm not alone.
You're not alone, Grange.
What? What was that? I thought I heard a voice.
It was my voice.
Who are you? Where are you?
I told you I'd come back.
No. No, it's just my imagination.
Is it your imagination, Grange?
Yes. Yes, of course.
I warned you. I warned you. Remember?
Come out. Come out in the open. Come out, I say. Do you hear me? Come out.
Your gun is useless against me now, Grange.
What do you want? Tell me, what do you want?
Oh, not now. The time isn't right now. But I'll be back. Watch for me and wait. Watch and wait. For I'll come back, Grange. I'll come back.
No. No, I'm sure of it. It was no one. No one at all. I just imagined it, that's all. Yes, just my imagination. Sylvia, dear, you look so tired. Here, perhaps this will wake you up. Present for you.
A present?
Yes. Something I picked up today. I thought you'd like it.
How sweet of you, darling. I think I can guess just by looking at the box. It's a ring.
Oh, aren't you clever? Go ahead, open it.
All right, darling, but don't hurry me. Oh,
Hey, Sylvia. That isn't the ring I bought for you.
Keith, look at this ring.
The initials. P.B.
Keith, this is his ring.
Sylvia, what are you saying?
It's his ring. I gave it to him.
But, Sylvia...
Keith, I swear to you, Philip Blake was buried with that ring on his finger.
cab, mister?
Yes, please.
Hey, do you mind coming around to the other side, please, mister? That door's busted, and you can't get it open.
Oh, very well.
Sorry to ask that of you, but they ain't had time to get the other door fixed. Where to, friend?
Huntington Arms Hotel, please.
Right.
Excellent.
Huh?
That's where I'm going.
Oh, you startled me. I didn't know there was anyone in this cab. It's so dark tonight.
Yes, isn't it?
I say, I don't seem to feel anyone in the seat here beside me.
Strange. You certainly bumped me hard enough when you crawled in here.
Bumped you? Oh, I beg your pardon, sir, but I...
Never mind, Grange. Never mind.
You know me?
I'm surprised that you don't know me.
Why, yes. Your voice sounds familiar. Good Lord. Philip Blake.
Do you mind riding with me?
Blake, you're supposed to be dead. You're supposed to be buried.
I am dead, Grange. I am buried.
Cabby, stop this cab.
Right, sir.
Now, let me out of here. Let me out.
What's the matter, Governor? Hey, you hadn't ought to jump out of a moving car like that.
What in the name of heaven is in the back of that cab?
Why, nothing, Governor. Here, see? I'll turn on the light. There. See?
But there was somebody in there with me.
Oh, now, mister, they couldn't have been. Look for yourself. The seat's empty there. And you just jumped out on this side of the cab. The other door won't open. No, brother, there wasn't nobody in that seat with you. Must have been your imagination.
Hello? Hello, Doris? Dear, this is Sylvia. I just wanted to remind you about the masquerade ball at Keith's new home tonight. You'll be there? Fine. Now remember, masks and costumes for everybody. All right, dear. Bye. Now be sure to come in costume, won't you, Dorothy? Yes. And heavily masked, my dear. Yes, at Keith's new place. Oh, darling, wait till you see the place. It's really a mansion. Honestly, it's huge. Mr. Grange, I believe.
Sylvia, darling. So you've penetrated my disguise.
Silly. I heard you order it from the costumers yesterday. Darling, the music will start soon. Is the first dance ours?
Sylvia, my dear, every dance is ours tonight. Are you happy I bought this place?
Oh, it's lovely. Absolutely lovely, Keith. Darling, what's the matter?
That man in black. I've been watching him all evening. He's been watching me.
Do you know who he is?
No. He just stands and stares at me. Everywhere I go, he's always just a short distance away.
Look, Keith. He's going into your study.
Well, he hasn't any business in there.
That's strange. I locked that door this evening so the guest wouldn't go into your study and disturb things.
Well, he just walked right in. And, dear, I'll go see who he is and what he wants. You mingle with the guests, and I'll join you later.
Very well, dear. But don't be long. I'll be waiting for you.
All right, Sylvia. Yeah. It's odd. This door is locked. Dark. Piano. Oh, confound it. Where's the light switch? There. No, it can't be. That piano. Someone's playing and... Yet there's no one seated there. The keys. moving up and down, playing the music, but there are no hands on them. That melody. It's the melody he played the night I killed him. He's playing it now. And yet he's not there.
I'm here, Grange. I'm here.
Blake.
Look closer, Grange. Here I am. You see?
Yes. I see you now.
I brought you a little gift for your masquerade party.
What?
You'll find it lying on your desk. Turn around and see for yourself. That's right. There. You see?
A gun.
It's the one you killed me with. Don't you recognize it?
Where did you get that gun?
I found it, Grange, and I've brought it back to you. I put one shell in its chamber. Just one, Grange. But that is enough.
What are you trying to... Gone. He's gone. Lord, am I mad? Was I dreaming? No. No, the gun is here. It is my gun. One cartridge, he said. Only one. One cartridge. Yes. Yes, it's the only way left. He knew it was the only way. Now he's left me to take it. All right, Blake. You can have your revenge. You can have it. And you are right. It is the only way.
So he shot himself, eh?
The evidence in there will indicate that he did, yes.
Say, that's quite a yarn you spun, Zorro.
It is nothing but the truth.
Come on now, come on, my friend. Let's take off your mask and have a look at you.
One moment. Keith Grange shot Philip Blake squarely between the eyes.
Yeah? So what?
That doesn't make a very pretty sight.
Well, I don't see what that's got to do with... here comes the captain. He'll take that mask off you. Captain Sullivan, come here a minute, will you?
Yes, Casey, what is it?
Well, there's a mug here that won't take off his mask. He's been spinning me the most fantastic yarn I ever heard in all my... where'd he go?
Huh? Where'd who go? Say, did you let somebody get out of this house, Casey?
No, Sir Cap. No, I didn't. But he was standing here just a minute ago. He wouldn't take off his mask. He told me the darndest story about a murdered man coming back from the grave.
Casey, have you been near the punch bowl? Well, there's no one here now. Wait a minute. What's this stain here on the floor?
Blood. A little pool of it. There on the floor. Right in the exact spot where the man in black was standing.
Fantasy.
Man Who Came Back, an original tale of dark fantasy by Scott Bishop. Ben Morris was Keith Grange. Eleanor Naylor Corrin was Herda Sylvia. Fred Wayne took the part of Casey. Muir Height was Captain Sullivan. Murillo Schofield, the cab driver. And Eugene Francis was the man who came back. Ladies and gentlemen, every Friday night at this time, the National Broadcasting Company will bring you Dark Fantasy, Tales of the Weird, Adventures of the Supernatural, created for you by Scott Bishop. Listen 1 week from tonight for the breathtaking story of the tombs of ancient China, the soul of Shanhai Wan.
Man lives in a world of time and space. He lives in a spectrum of the universe. When he ventures beyond this limit, he is in the unknown, a realm where strange forces are brought into play. When man attempts to misuse these forces, he is sometimes destroyed. This is Macabre.
The Far East Network presents, in special performance, Macabre. Tonight's story, The House in the Garden.
Our story concerns a medieval castle in the south of France and the strange events that befell its inhabitants. About the turn of the century, its owner, Count Jacques du Marigny, died. His became the master of his father's estate. A sweat night, a few years later, a black-caped figure strained against the storm toward a towering gray structure looming defiantly above the barren countryside. It raced across the drawbridge into the courtyard like some giant bat closing in on its victim. A moment later, the figure pounded wildly on the massive main entrance of the ancient castle and was admitted by a small, hunched servant who led the visitor into the library before a roaring fire. The man stood, patiently drying himself. Presently, he noticed the gaunt features of something else watching him from a darkened portal. For a moment, the two were motionless. Then the visitor took a step forward and asked,
"Good evening, monsieur. I am Inspector Bordeaux of the Prefecture of Police. I am here in answer to the urgent summons of Count Jacques de Marigny. Perhaps you'll be kind enough to inform him that I am here. Speak up, man. You cannot stand there in the shadows all evening. Good. That is better. Step over here by the fire, please. Good Lord, man. You have the look of death. What is the matter? Take me to your master at once. Where is Count?
I am the Count du Marigny.
You?
Thank God you've come, Inspector.
Inspector Bordeaux at your disposal, sir. Now, will you explain these rather strange circumstances?
Yes, in a moment. Monto?
Did you call Master?
2 glasses of brandy.
Brandy, sir?
Yes, brandy.
Brandy is in the cellar, sir.
Cellar? Well, the wine from the kitchen will do.
Wine from the kitchen. Thank you, sir. Wine from the kitchen.
Your servant is frightened, monsieur.
Please be seated by the fire, Inspector. You're drenched.
Thank you very much. A terrible night, yes. The carriage hardly made the trip up the mountain road. But with the horses barking at the lightning, I did not expect to arrive at all.
My apologies for summoning you on such a night.
In so isolated a spot, a patient could die before a doctor could possibly reach him.
The wine, Master.
Oh, thank you, Monto. That will be all.
A moment, if you please. Although the wine is fine, the brandy would have been better. Why did you not go to the cellar for it?
Go to the cellar?
That will be all, Monto. You may help in the kitchen tonight.
Yes, Master. Thank you, Master.
What is wrong here, monsieur? What about this cellar he seems to be afraid of?
It's a long story, Inspector. Beginning with the house in the garden.
The house in the garden?
Yes.
Continue, please.
I sent for you because our lives here at the castle are in danger.
Oh? Who threatens you?
I am not certain.
Have you received notes or visitors who might lead you to believe that someone wants to kill you?
No. I suppose I'm not making much sense.
I must agree, monsieur. You are not.
Will you hear me out?
My dear Count, I am a busy man. Perhaps you should have called a doctor instead. No?
There may be a death here tonight. If you will but listen, I can explain.
Very well. At any rate, that wine was tasty.
Oh, my glass. I haven't touched it.
Perhaps only a sip or two. I am not a drinking man, you know.
Of course not. I'll have Monteau bring us a bottle.
Very good. Now, tell me about the house in the garden.
A little over 10 years ago, my father died. He left me this estate of over 1 million francs. The provision was that I must occupy the castle and remain here to retain title. I had lived in America since childhood, since my mother left my father when I was an infant. It was difficult, but I pulled out stakes and moved to France. And then I met an American student in Paris, Yvette Palmer. We fell in love. It was later that I learned she had another suitor, the Duke de Bastel. She couldn't decide which of us to marry. The Duke became an enemy and threatened my life.
Why did you not go to the police?
Would they have believed me any more than now?
Good point, monsieur. Fine wine.
Yes, sir. Monteau?
Just a sip or two, or perhaps a glass. I am not a drinking man, you know.
Yes, sir. Monteau, a bottle of port.
Yes, master.
Go on with your story.
Well, one night, there was a ball here in the ballroom. I was dancing with Yvette, and everyone seemed to be happy.
Don't know now, Jacques, but guess who just arrived?
Darling, nothing matters tonight except you and me.
It's our friend, the Duke.
Oh? I don't recall sending him an invitation.
Oh, he sees us. Jacques, he's coming over.
Come on. No sense in having trouble on the dance floor.
Now, that is a pretty picture, is it not? Two in love.
Please, don't make a scene.
Are you not leading everyone to believe I have lost you?
Keep your voice down.
Oh, you've made a choice all right, Yvette, so it was the fortune that really mattered. You don't want and have not, like me, a man who could give you everything but money.
That's not true.
Go ahead, marry a checkbook and a pressed suit of clothes. That is all you are getting. It won't be a man.
Uh-oh. Here goes 30 years of gentlemanly upbringing. Sorry you said that, my friend.
Oh, watch out! The Duke has a knife.
I'll kill you.
Maybe a difference of opinion about that.
He would have married me if you didn't come along. Now, yes, of your throat is.
That knife away, you fool.
Oh, you're so embarrassing. Stop it this minute, both of you.
It will be over in a moment.
If you kill me, you'll never live to marry Yvette.
Up off the floor. I'm ashamed of you.
Very well, Yvette. I have a better plan to settle our differences anyway. Do you care to listen?
Put the knife away, and I might.
You act like two spoiled children. You're disgraced in front of all your friends.
Very well. Let us go into the other room.
You know, you cut my neck.
Oh, it's bleeding.
You made the mistake of getting me excited.
Take my handkerchief. That will stop the blood.
You know, I don't think you were bluffing.
I would have killed you.
Well, now, what is this plan of yours?
A wager.
A wager?
Yes.
For what stakes?
One half your fortune.
What? I didn't think I hit you that hard.
What is the wager?
The little stone house in the garden. The one used for storage. I wager I can span 10 years alone in this house without once coming out, seeing or talking with anyone.
But it's like a prison. No windows at all. Only a door and a narrow slit at the roof for air. The stone walls are 6 feet thick.
Make it comfortable for me. Get a servant to lower a foot tray once a day through the slit in the ceiling. All I ask is that you send me anything I want to read. I will leave notes to that effect in the empty food trays, which can be lifted out after I have eaten.
And if you remain for 10 years?
I collect half your fortune. One more thing, though. Yvette should wait until the wager is over before choosing between us. It will be fair, then, as I will have as great a fortune as you.
Suppose you leave before the time is up.
I lose and you are free. Now, to make it legal, we will have a lawyer draw up contracts. The first to violate the agreement forfeits the wager. What do you say, Yvette?
You mean we won't see you again for 10 years?
That is correct. And you must not contact me. Perhaps I will be more attractive to you when I am wealthy.
What if I refuse to do this?
Then I will kill you.
I see. Very well. It's a deal. But remember, we'll all be bound strictly by the contract.
Exactly. Are we not men of honor?
And that's the story behind the house in the garden. The Duke de Bastel has been there ever since.
Incredible. Bizarre. When does he get out?
The 10 years will be up at midnight, day after tomorrow.
Has the Duke kept his bargain?
To the letter. Monto lowers the food tray once a day, and we hear nothing from him at all.
So? Then why have you summoned the police?
Jacques.
Who is that, monsieur?
My wife, Inspector. Yes?
I do hope I'm not interrupting. I must talk to you.
Certainly, my dear. Inspector Bordeaux, the Countess Yvette de Marigny.
How do you do? It is my pleasure, madame. Yvette, did you say?
We were married 5 years ago.
I see. She did not wait.
Darling, we can't use the East Wing tonight.
Oh? Why not?
First the cellar and now. The servants won't go near them, Jacques. What will we do?
Has something happened, Countess?
Yes. Please tell him, Jacques.
There have been 2 deaths in as many nights. A gardener in the cellar 2 nights ago, and a maid last evening in the East Wing.
How did they die?
Apparently natural deaths. Both elderly. Bodies were taken down to a village doctor, who said he could find nothing suspicious.
Did you expect to find anything suspicious?
Well, you see...
Inspector, there is more.
2 deaths in 2 nights under natural conditions. Probably coincidence. Nothing else. Again, why have you called the police?
The drums.
Drums?
We heard them before the gardener died, and again last night before we found Suzette.
What manner of drum?
The kind you might hear in a jungle.
Someone is playing the game with you.
Who? Yvette, Monto, and a dozen other trusted servants live here with me. There's no one else except the Duke and the house and the garden.
Pardon me, master. Here is wine.
Yes, Monto. Put it by the inspector, please.
Yes, master. I do not mean to hear. I must tell you, servants do not think Duke's still out there.
What?
The last 3 days, Duke not touch food on tray. The trays come back full.
Perhaps the man is ill.
Servants think he find out Miss Yvette marry Count. Maybe he escaped kill everyone with voodoo drums.
Voodoo?
One of the provisions was that he be allowed to read anything he desired. For the past few years, he's requested books on high and low magic, sorcery, witchcraft, and the like.
So. And when did you first hear these drums?
2 nights ago. We had just gone to bed when they began to beat.
Did you make an attempt to locate them?
No, Inspector. We thought one of the servants was playing on them.
They found a gardener in the cellar the next morning.
Servants very frightened.
It is easy enough to clear this up. Give me the key. I will open the house in the garden.
No, not until midnight the day after tomorrow.
But it's important to know if the Duke is in there.
The contract states I will lose my entire fortune if I do that. We must wait. Didn't you send for guards to protect us?
Protect you from what, monsieur? Voodoo drums? Inspector Bordeaux would be the laughingstock of all France. No, my dear Count and Countess, you have made a childish wager with an equally childish Duke, and now you are allowing your nerves to play fanciful tricks on you. I cannot help you. My coat, s'il vous plaît.
The road back may be washed out, Inspector. It's a terrible night.
Indeed, yes. Yes, it is a bad night.
You are welcome to stay the night.
There really is something wrong here. Maybe you can find it.
If drums come again, servants leave, I think.
Inspector, have you tried our grape wine? Best stock we've had in years.
Ah, the wine. Indeed, yes. Put me up, just for the night. Perhaps this does bear some looking into.
Fine. 2 bottles of grape, Monto.
2 bottles of grape, master.
Good, Monto. Mind you, only a sip or 2. Perhaps a glass. Remember, I am not a drinking man.
Thank you for remaining, Inspector. Let us retire now to the safety of our rooms. I know that you will recognize the danger here, if the drums beat again tonight. See who's behind us.
Wait for me.
Stand on one side of the door. Shh. There's something outside in the hall. Shh. Watch it.
Come with me. Inspector Bordeaux here. Our midnight drummer went around the corner. With haste, we might apprehend the scoundrel.
Oh, Inspector,
Lead the way, Inspector. You have the lantern.
I was almost asleep when I heard the sound. You were very wise to summon me. This is either a practical joke or a ghastly plan of murder.
Look, a shadow around the bend.
Hurry.
Wait. That tapestry. It's moving. What is behind it?
An alcove.
Our phantom is probably in there. Careful now. Now, up!
Marie! Oh, didn't have to do this to you.
Who is this girl, monsieur?
Marie, one of my wife's maids. Is she?
She's gone. A dreadful look of fright. Were the others like this?
Yes. No signs of violence.
Hurry! He's getting away!
Oh, he must have gone up the west tower. I'll handle the lantern. I'll lead the way. Through this door.
A man could fall to his death from the stairway. Here, take my handcuffs.
Thank you, Inspector.
See anything up ahead?
Not yet. We're almost at the top landing. Then we'll have him cornered.
Be careful, Jacques.
Just a little farther. Watch it. Broken step.
Go ahead, we're all right.
Hey, have a gun, just in case.
Easy does it.
Shine the lantern around.
It has to be up here somewhere.
Look behind that post.
Jacques, a shadow moved.
Where, Yvette?
You, come out from behind that post. Now we know where you are. Have a gun?
I can't see a thing.
Come on away. There's something hiding right over there.
It moved again.
Stop or I'll shoot.
No, I didn't do it.
Kindly raise your hand.
No, you must believe me.
That's why the gardener. Look out for the open window behind you! Francois. Poor devil.
But why would he? For what reason?
What do you think, Inspector?
Nothing further can be done here. We'll take care of the body in the morning. I suggest we retire to our rooms and try to get some rest.
So relieved it's finally over. Aren't you, Jacques?
I wouldn't fail to go to my door.
Why?
Because, my dear, you are wrong. The real killer is still at large.
Master, you awake?
What time is it?
Oh, who? Sounds like Montel calling us to breakfast.
Coming, Montauk. Hold on. Be right there.
Good morning, Master. Have bad news.
How's that?
Servants hear about Marie and Francois last night. All leaving.
Why, they can't leave us here all alone way out here.
They say Cursan Castle. Everyone die. They not stay. Motona like voodoo drums either.
Where is the inspector?
He having breakfast downstairs.
Tell him we'll be right down.
Yes, Master. But hurry. Inspector plan open house in garden.
The last breakfast the cook made before she left. May I share it with you?
I'll have only coffee, please. And you, Yvette?
Oh, yes, just coffee.
Monto says you plan to open the house in the garden.
Indeed. It is about time. Or do you both want to die in your sleep?
And you believe there is someone in the castle causing this?
Not necessarily.
Oh, how did you know it wasn't Francois?
The killer we were following had already passed the tower room when we found the dead maid. He couldn't have come back without being seen. Francois found Marie before we did. Afraid we would mistake him for the murderer, he, like a coward, ran up the tower. He accidentally fell out the window.
Master, the servants now gone. Only we left.
All right, Monto. Inspector, I have a plan. Give me one more night.
One more night, monsieur. May find all of us dead in our beds. There is a madman loose. I cannot risk it.
Monto can guard Yvette in the castle tonight. You and I will take up watch by the house in the garden. What do you say?
I think we should leave this place immediately.
Yvette, how about it? One more night?
Oh, I'm frightened. But if Montel will promise not to leave me.
Monto guard Countess with life.
There we are. Now, how about it?
Well, it seems I am outvoted. Very well, then. One more night. However, I cannot guarantee you will be alive in the morning. The storm has passed. But the night is disagreeable, no?
Yes. Turn up the lantern, please, Inspector. It's very dark.
There. That is better now. This is the house in the garden, no?
Right. Made of stone. About 30 feet square. No windows.
So you mentioned. Very quiet in there. Like a tomb, eh?
In a way. Here's a stone door. I have the only key. Without it, we'd have to blast to get in. Hasn't been opened since we locked him up.
Uh-huh. And that opening near the door?
That's where his food trays are lured. 6 inches by 24, just a slip.
A foreboding prison. If it is still a prison. I strongly advise you to open it up for your own safety.
He couldn't have escaped.
Who beat the drums? They came from the castle, not here in the garden. What do you think?
You wouldn't accept my explanation.
My dear Count, please do not expect me to believe in witchcraft or voodoo. This is 1910, the 20th century.
Then we'll hear the drums no more. The Duke is there, and only Yvette and Monteau remain in the castle, right?
Exactly. There is no one else left to beat them, if you have assumed correctly.
I suppose we are reasonably safe.
Perhaps we are.
What's that? The drums.
From the castle. Yvette! Quickly, we may be too late to save her. Stop. Cellar door.
Drums came from the cellar.
I think so. I will go first with the lantern.
There's nothing down here except rows of wine casks.
We will be at the bottom in a moment.
You see anything?
Only wine casks. Listen. What is dripping? Wine?
Hardly. Come on.
Dripping is growing louder. Perhaps around this corner.
Something on the floor there.
What? Wait. Monto!
Is he dead?
No. A blow on the head. Monto, quickly. Where is the Countess?
I protect Countess. Someone hit me with drum. I
dragged you into the cellar. But where is the Countess?
Inspector, the dripping. It's blood.
Indeed.
Overhead, something lying on that wine cask. Raise the lantern.
It's a woman. The Countess. She's alive. Her face is turning toward... Good Lord.
What happened to her face? Yvette!
No! They didn't. Oh, God, they didn't do this to her. I won't believe it. She is dead, my friend. This will not help her.
I know it. He couldn't stand my happiness. The Duke. Yes, the Duke. Killed him. Let's go. I'll get the key. Yes.
I advise you to calm yourself. Where are you going?
To the Duke. Yes, to the Duke. We'll do what he wants at last. We'll open the house and the garden. Yeah.
Bizarre. Most unusual. This door has been locked for years. He could not escape. Monsieur, I am completely baffled. I confess, I do not know who has harmed you.
Monteau, help me with this key.
Yes, master. It turned other way.
Oh, all right. Turn. There. Inspector, give us a hand.
Oui, monsieur.
Door swings out. Here we go now. Pull.
Let me go first. I am armed. Bring the lantern, Monteau.
Yes, Inspector.
What do you see? Is he there?
I do not see him as yet. Shine the lantern on, Monteau.
Well?
He is not here. He has escaped.
What?
I believe I understand everything at last, Count de Moragny.
Quickly. Where is he, Inspector?
Give me time to think. He could only have escaped with the help of one person, the man who brought his food.
You accuse me?
Yes.
No.
Monteau used your key to open the door. The Duke escaped and planned the voodoo drum death with the help of Monteau, who did the actual killing.
No.
Monteau? But why?
The Duke promised you a part of your fortune. They hoped to frighten you into opening the house early in order to collect your entire estate. And they have succeeded, monsieur. You lose everything.
The Duke broke his agreement first by escaping.
Only after I learned Yvette had not waited for marriage as agreed. Now have you not opened the door and found me here?
You, the Duke de Bastel?
My dear Count. Have I changed so much in 10 years?
You promised you not tell.
The beard. I see.
I intercepted your summons for the police and masqueraded as Inspector Bordeaux. Then I persuaded you to open the house in the garden. where you found that the Duke had gone.
Inspector, the door is closing. We've been trapped to die.
No, don't close the door. We can't get out. We'll die. No, don't do it, Count.
You have just heard Macabre, a special Far East Network presentation. In our cast were John Buey as Inspector Bordeaux, Walt Sheldon as the Duc de Bastel, Shirley Ashey as Countess Yvette, William Verdier as Count Jacques de Marigny, and Airman First Class James Conley as Monteau. Technical supervision by Airman First Class Larry Clemens. Special sound patterns by Air Force Sergeants Bob Eddy and Newell Stewart. This is Air Force Sergeant Al LePage speaking. Macabre was written and directed by William Verdier.
Macabre comes to you each week at this time through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
That's the show for tonight. I want to thank you all for listening. And remember, you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/terror1970, or you can find me on Instagram at Radio Show Nerd. I do have a YouTube channel, Terror Radio. Please check it out. Like and subscribe. Share the videos. It would be highly appreciated. Again, this is your host, Keith, better known as the Radio Show Nerd, signing off.